Hello, everyone. So, thank you so much for coming down today. And today I'm going to try something different, which is to just show a quick game tutorial. So, this is what got me started coding, like, got my interest in finding out that a code can actually become a game. And hence, for our younger audience, or if someone is just trying to build something fun, you can get the basics of game development through this tutorial. This is by no means like a new thing. There are many tutorials about how to build a snake game. This is just my take on how I would like to build the snake game. So maybe I'll just show a quick demo of how snake game looks like before, like as in how our game will look like through our tutorial. So I'll just quickly run the IDE, quickly run my Python file. So this is how the game will look like. Of course, you will get a lot of customization options because you're building the game from scratch. So whether you want to have a different head, you want to have a different color for the background, you want to have a different color for the food, you want a different shape for the thing, you want a different speed, it's up to you because as game developers, you have a lot of say in how things get done. So yeah, along the way, I will try to share some stories that I've heard and I've seen. Uh, I'm coming from a computing background, so I've heard quite a bit of stories from my friends and from my work experience as well. I'm not a professional game developer, but that's what I do most of my free times, like just playing games and trying to think of ways to build games. So yeah, this is what we'll be building by the end of this session. So yeah, I don't know if the video will be like a one part video, if there'll be multiple parts to it, but for now, let's just keep going. And I set myself like a 10-minute timer-ish. And if I feel like there's too much content in one video, I will just skip and I'll end the video then we will continue on another day. So yeah, snake game, a guided tutorial using Python and turtle package. Turtle package is a really basic package that many people would who are getting started on Python would have tried, but they don't really see how it comes together to be something useful. They will just draw something like a star or color something. But using Python and Turtle together, we would be able to build a full-on game, and it's quite interesting. Okay, for those who are like a bit too young and have no idea what I'm talking about when I say Snake Game has been around for ages. Um, I'm a 24-year-old and I grew up with these things, Nokia phones, whereby I'll steal from my parents or steal from my uncles and aunts who are visiting me and play this game and try to beat their high score on their phone. Uh, yeah. So from there, it has morphed into like this when smartphones came about, and then now they're like multiplayer versions of Snake. This is Snake IO, if I'm not wrong. It's quite a fun game. You can check it out. It's quite big on Twitch. Uh, and yeah, essentially, if you think about it, Snake game is just these four things. There's a snake head that chases the food and eats it. There's a snake body which grows each time it eats something. And there's also a wall. Like if you hit the wall, you either die or you go through the wall and come out the other side. For our game purposes, we keep it that if you hit the wall, you die. And also, there's the food. The food, people often think that is a really simple thing, and it is simple, but there's more than meets the eye. Like one thing to note is once you eat the food has to reappear somewhere else, somewhere random, seemingly random. And there's a lot of small little details that go into making the game what it is. So let's get straight to it. So, in order to build the game, we have to go in a certain sequence, and I'll go step by step. So for the purpose of the tutorial, we will go in this order. Firstly, we'll get started. Like we'll set up the window, the gaming window, and next we will build the snake head, like form the head and make sure that the head is movable using our arrow keys or WASD or something, so that we can actually control the character. Followed by we'll make the snake's food, body, And then we'll work on the border collision. Like if we hit the borders, we die. And if we hit ourselves, we die. And also, last but not least, a scoring system so that you can make the game fun for yourself and fun to play with. Play like you have to keep track of your high score and etc. So yeah, it should be a fun game to build, and hopefully you learn how game development on whole works as well by building this from scratch. So yeah, I don't think I have any more slides. Okay. So let's get started with the game. I will close this window and we'll go to our friendly idle. Any Python programmer, when you download Python, you get this installed. So I'll just be using this. I won't use anything fancy. So open a new file and make sure to save this file somewhere visible for yourself. Like maybe I'll just put it in the desktop for myself. I'll just call it snake game. And once I'm done saving it, I don't really have much work left. I mean, sorry, scratch that. The work just begins. But what I mean is there's not much admin issues to deal with at this point. So let's get straight to it. So I'm thinking like a 8 to 10 minutes video, what we can achieve out of it, which is basically to get the window set up and you can control the head using your arrow keys and WASD. I think it's a bit ambitious to hope to do more than that. I just realized that as I'm thinking about where to start first. Okay. Anyways, to get started on any Python program, we first need to get the relevant packages loaded. So for the purpose of this video, we'll be loading two packages. I mean, firstly, we'll just load turtle as tx. This is just my preference. I prefer to call it turtle as tx. You can prefer to call it anything that you want, but I don't want to keep typing turtle every single time. That's why I'm doing the as tx thing. So next up is we're going to create a window. So this is the window where we'll be doing the playing, like where our characters will move around. So for that, all we need to do is something like this. Title, snake game by Code Y. That I'll just put my YouTube channel's name here. So window title, snake game by Code Y. And yeah, the next step is window dot background color. Another thing to note is the spellings will be in American spelling because Turtle package was made in MIT where they are American as well. So yeah, if I'm not wrong, it is MIT. So don't come and flame me if it's not. But yeah, it's going to be an American spelling. So if when in doubt, go American for Python programming, especially for Turtle. So what I'm typing right now is quite self-explanatory. I'm basically just setting the parameters to get started. You can choose different configurations to your liking, but I'm just going to go with the basic height and width of 600 by 600 pixels. And this thing, just ignore it for now. Set it to 0. Windows tracer 0. So now, with that being said, we are ready to launch it. So I'm going to save the video, save the file and run it. So when you run it, you see that you have an empty window pop up and it's black because I gave the instruction to be black. Let's just put this at the side and I'll keep this here. Okay, can I do something about this? Okay, I think this is better organization. So yeah, with that, you just save the file using Control S or Command S and run the file by hitting the F5 button. Or if you don't have that, you can use the run option at the top, run module, and it will work. It's identical for Mac users as well, so no worries about that. Okay, so first step is we need to get started, which is setting up the screen. So that is step 1 done. So good job. You can give yourself a pat in the head. Sorry, pat in the back. What do I mean? Head. Yeah, my bad, my bad. Okay, next up is the snake head. That's why I said head, like pat in the head. Yeah, I was thinking of the next step. So for head, I'm just going to call it tx dot turtle, capital T. Make sure that your code is identical to mine in case of an error. Like when you try to run it, Control S and F5. When you run into an error, make sure that it has the same spellings. Most often than not, it will be just some small little extra spacing or an extra capital letter randomly, because Python is case sensitive and space sensitive. So you need to be careful of these few things. Anyways, snakehead head.tx.turtle will load a new graphical package. Like you are rendering a new image. And next up is head.shape is head.speed is 0 and head.shape. I'm going to give it a square. I'm going to choose square, but you can feel free to choose anything. And also, before I continue, just remember that it's fully customizable. So it's up to you how you want to make your thing unique to your own taste and preference. So in this case, over here, I put background color black. You can choose to put blue or green, anything, up to you. So I can choose dark green, anything, up to you, but I'm going to choose black. But yeah, it's completely up to you guys. Let's continue. Next up, I need you to do this dot pen up. So why am I doing this? By default, any graphical element that you load newly, the pen will be down. So what does a pen mean? So when I create a new graphical image, it's imagine you're putting the pen on the paper. And if you're moving the object, it will leave a paper trail kind of thing. It will lead like a trail behind the object. So in order to prevent that trail from being formed, we do the pen up so that it's like you remove the pen from the paper, that kind of logic. So yeah, okay, I think I'll speed up. I'm spending too much time explaining. Let me know if you think, if you're frustrated by my explanations and I can go faster. I'm assuming, yeah, okay. Let's just say stop, because I don't want the head to be moving in any direction for now. So let's just keep it as it is, as this for now. Now, when I run this, I'm expecting nothing actually. Like I'll just see the black screen. I won't see the head. I won't see the green square that I'm expecting right now. The reason is because Turtle package loads step by step. So initially loaded the screen, and then it loaded a graphical package in the middle at go to 0, 0. That is the XY axis. X and Y. 0, 0 is right in the middle as the Cartesian plane. So why is it not showing up? It's because I have not refreshed the page. It'll only refresh, it'll only show the green square in the middle once I refresh the page. So in order to refresh the page, the command is quite simple. We'll be running a Windows update. So window.update. By Windows, I don't mean the Mac versus Windows, that kind of comparison. It's just a random, it's just the Windows that we initiated over here. So let's run this now. And now I see the green circle. The thing is, we need to update this constantly, because as I'm moving along, I'm rendering new graphical images as I move along the different parts of the thing. Right now, my arrow keys don't work, nothing works. So to make sure that it renders automatically as I'm moving around, I can do a while loop, infinity while loop. And when I run this, I should get a square that's formed in the center, and it is constantly updating itself. So if I move, it'll move dynamically for me. It'll look like it's moving dynamically at least. Okay, now that we are done with this, let's do the tough part, which is the movements. So for the movements, it's going to be a little challenging, but I would need it's just a bit tedious. It's not challenging, it's a bit tedious. It's a little tedious. So what I'm going to do is first thing I need to do is keyboard binding. That means I need to connect my keyboard to my Python shell. So to do that, I need to do something like this. Windows listen, Windows dot on press, sorry, on key press, go up, capital letter U and a P. And I just copy this, paste, paste, paste. Key press. So I'm just making the necessary changes because I don't want to keep typing the same thing again and again. Just remind yourself to, when you're putting the arrow keys, the first thing should be capital letter U. That's how the Python understands that you're pressing the up arrow key. I'm going to use the arrow key because I'm more comfortable playing Snake on that arrow key. On arrow keys, I prefer to use WASD for like shooter games or something. But if you prefer some other kind of configuration, by all means, go ahead. It's your game. You will decide how you want it to be played. And here should be capital letter L. So now this doesn't really get, what this does is Windows listens to me, and Windows listens to when the key is being pressed. When the up key is pressed, it will call this function go up. As you can see, I haven't defined go up yet, so nothing will happen right now, even if I save it and run it. Yeah, go up is not defined. So we need to define go up now. So to do that, what I'm going to do is, you see this thing called head.direction, I put stop. This will be a very important marker for us eventually, but let's go step by step. First thing is, we're going to do the go up, go down, go left, go right functions. So define go up if head.direction is not equal to down. Okay, sorry. Let me not confuse you guys. I'll just do this. Head.direction is equal to up. Over here, the head.direction up doesn't need to be capital letter up. This is just for our reference. We will be using this later on. But basically, if I say go up, the head.direction, the attribute of head, should change from stop to up. Likewise, just follow the same for the rest of them. So copy. Oh no. Paste, paste, paste. So do the same for them. Go down, go right, go left. Also, make sure that this spelling and this spelling is the same. The function calls must be identical. So when you're going down, press down. When you're going right, right, go left would mean the head direction should be facing left. And we're done. Now, this is still not sufficient for us to see the effect that we are looking for, which is pressing the arrow keys to influence where the head moves around. So to do that, we have another set of instructions to give. So don't worry, it's not too complex. This part is, we are going to create a mother of all movement functions. So move if head dot direction equal sign up. I need to move upwards. So how do I move upwards? I need to find out where my y-axis is. So to move upwards, I'm basically moving along the y-axis, the vertical axis. So head dot y coordinate, I will get the y coordinate first, and then I'm going to head dot set y plus 20. So what's happening is, I'm first creating a new variable y. I'm finding out where my current y position is, y coordinate, and then I'm setting the head's new y position to existing y plus 20. That means I'm moving upwards, up. So that's how I get upward direction. I'm moving upwards. So that's the instruction for up. You can imagine what is instruction going to be for the rest of them. There'll be slight changes. So if direction is down, minus, you just go downwards now. The y-axis will be going down. So let's copy this whole thing. I'm a lazy typer, so yeah, copy pasting. If it is right, you need to make a small change, which is previously we're doing up and down, hence we're moving along the vertical axis, which is the y-axis. So I'm trying to find the y-axis stuff. But now left and right is along the x-axis, so horizontal plane. So the variable name can be anything, but I prefer to keep it consistent. X-axis, X variable. But this one, there's no other alternative. It must be X core. So hit.x core, I'm finding where the current X coordinate is, and I'm adding 20 to the X coordinate. So if I'm here, adding 20 to X coordinate would mean I'm moving further to the right, which is what I want for the right direction. As for the left side, left, same thing, X coordinate, and X minus 20. And with that, we are more or less done. Let's try running this now. And if you try pressing the arrows, you still won't be moving anywhere. So I can already sense some frustration. Wait a second, sorry, just a small edit. It's not set Y, it is set X. We are setting the new X variable. So just, my bad, just remind yourself to change this. If your code looks like mine right now, if all looks the same, your code won't work perfect. It won't work yet. The reason being, we have called, by pressing the up arrow, we are calling the go up, and we are changing the direction. And in the move function, we have all the correct things like to move how many pixels, etc., all set up already, but we have not called the move function anywhere. By just defining a function, you just have a tool in your arsenal now. Until you use it, it's useless to you. So a small edit is all that is needed. You just put the move item, the move function over here. So in the infinite loop, what is going to happen is our graphical window will keep updating itself. That means it will keep refreshing for new graphical packages to be loaded. At the same time, it will move whatever that needs to be moving and then update itself. So by doing so, we will get something like a real-time effect of all the things that we're changing. So let's run this now. And boom, it just flew away. So what you saw just now is a classic case of me not setting how fast the thing should move. So by setting the speed to be 0, it's just going to go at the maximum possible speed. 0 doesn't mean it's going to stay still. It means it's going to update as fast as possible. So to circumvent this, what I can do is I can add a delay to my my game. So this is where we need to upload our import our next package, which is import time. So time is a very useful package, a very versatile package. We use it all over the place. So let's say delay. We are going to delay how fast the thing reloads itself. So I'm going to suggest a comfortable 0.5 speed, 0.5 seconds. So what is going to happen is at the bottom, I just want you to add this one line, which is after move, I want you to wait sleep by delay amount of times, delay amount of seconds. So in the while true loop, it'll update the graphical packages. It'll move however we set it to be moving. And then we set the timer to sleep for 0.5 seconds and then load again. So it'll go through this loop forever because it's a while true. That means it's always true. So let's run this now. Hopefully it is the final result that we're expecting. And yep, you can see that my snake is moving quite sadly. Okay, so this is where as a gamer, you get to decide how you want your game to be and feel like. So I will go back up. If I want the game to be faster, I just need to reduce the delay to like maybe 0.1. And I save this and I run it. And you get a bit more challenging game now. When the delay is shorter, the game gets faster. By putting an intentional delay, we make the game a bit more playable. If not, it'll just fly around aimlessly, and it's not a fun game. We need the difficulty to be moderated so that's a fun game. So yeah, I think I've taken a lot of time explaining and coding this out. By the end of this tutorial, you should have done creating the window, and you should have done building the snake head, a moving snake head. The rest of the mechanics, I'll cover them in the next video, and hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. So until then, stay safe. Peace out. Bye.